Morning. Okay, today we're going to do something we do a lot of, which is iPhone screen repair. We have an XR here, and as you can see, the screen is broken, the LCD is broken too. So we have the new part here, brand new screen, and we're going to install it. So let's go. Hey, does this say recording? Oh, you see it?
The red light?
Yeah. All right, these use a special screw bit in the bottom, which we have to get these screws out first to loosen the screen. Do that. I'll pop the screen off. I want to take the battery off first so we have no power going to it.
Oh yeah, the engine thing didn't print when I was trying to install it. Do it? Yeah. Okay. Didn't
You guys always want to disconnect the battery as a first step. That way we don't risk any damage inside there when we're changing screens and things like that. Get the right tool, pull this out. All right, now that's disconnected, and we can take the screen out. Apple uses all different size screws and screw types. They like to make it complicated, whereas if you do an Android phone like a Samsung, generally it's all the same screw. All right, so now we have the screen disconnected, as you can see. Put that aside. Now we have to take off this front camera housing. Back to the other screw bit. Right here. If you're trying to do this yourself, you always want to be careful that you're careful of what screws, keep them in order. I've done this so many times that I can practically just see a screw and know where it goes, but keep them in order, because if you put the wrong screw back in the wrong place, it can cause problems. So now we've got this loose. This one's been done before, so it popped right out. We didn't have to heat it up. This little housing here. Whoa. Finding things on a dark floor, that's always a good time. Alright, take this protective shielding off that comes with all the new ones. If you guys are doing this yourself and you look around online and you see some screens, some are more expensive, some are less expensive, there's usually a catch to that, so don't always think that you just found a great deal. Usually it's not worth it, and you'll end up, if you get a bad screen, we always buy the top quality screens, because otherwise, you know, people are going to come back unhappy, and you know, if you end up doing the work twice, are you really saving money? All right, let's get this new one back on. For whatever reason, I think these XRs tend to have the least amount of screws. So they're usually the quickest to do. Try to get all our iPhone things done in 15 minutes. We pay a little bit more for our parts because they come pre-assembled with the back plate. You could always get one without it and save a few dollars, but customers are always in a hurry to get their devices back, so it's worth it to us to save a little time and be able to get this thing done quicker. All right, as you can see, that's on there now. I don't know if you can see. There you go. Now we just have to reinstall, put everything back together. We'll do our battery first since that's on the bottom. When you're inside here, you want to steer clear of this section here. That is your Face ID, and it's very sensitive, and if there's a problem with it, you have to go to Apple to get it fixed. So we always are very careful about not going anywhere near that. Just leave it be. We're going to connect our LCD and touch the digitizer connectors. Those are connected. Do it so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Put this one down here. This is for the top area. A bunch of sensors up there, and it also deals with the earpiece speaker. If your connector is lined up, it should just pop in, so you don't want to actually push too hard on it, ever. You can damage the connector. Alright, that's in. This cover plate goes next. Sometimes you'll see people not put the cover plates back in. I don't know why. It's there for a reason. It helps keep these components, if you drop it, help keeps these connections from disconnecting. And also I think it's shielding as well for electrical fields. So that's always good to leave on there as well. These screws in here. Our other screw bit for this one screw, which happens to be a Phillips head. And if you look at this little connector here, you can see it. You got to go under and then push it in just like that. See how it's all flush now? Always got to get that just right, otherwise it will not seat well when you try to close the screen, and you can end up damaging your screen. Don't need that. I'll put this cover plate here. Back to our tri-wing screw driver bit. All right, I just need to close it. So I'm going to close it, go from the top first, push up, follow up the sides, and then push down on the top. Clamps in place, and let's see what we get. Looks like we're good. Now we get our pentalobe screw bit. For these bottom screws, Apple does not want anyone in there, so they make a special screw. They started making the screw in the iPhone 4S days. In fact, it was kind of a thing when originally the 4Ss came with regular Phillips head screws, and then they switched it partway through, and if you went to go get your phone fixed from them, they would actually change the screws to these harder ones that people didn't have. And if you see, we got touch. So there we are. This one's good to go. And there we are. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can't throw these in the regular trash. They have chemicals and substances, so we have to do it with e-waste. There you go.